Hi there, and congratulations on your new S-Series oven from Sveba Dahlen. My name is Oliver, and I work here as a sales representative. Today, we're going to show you some neat tricks and tips for your new S-oven and some smart functions. The S-Series spans in 11 different models. You get 2 colors, black and stainless steel, and no less than 38 different combinations. Depending on your chosen model, your oven may be equipped with a combination of rack oven, which you get here. You have a deck oven, and you even have a prover at the bottom. And all models includes a rack oven, which has the maximum baking temperature of 300 degrees centigrade. No matter which model and rack oven size you have, the basic functions are the same for all rack ovens. The oven is fitted with 4 casters, 2 wheels at the back and 2 wheels at the front. The wheels can spin in all directions, making it easy for you to move and place your oven exactly where you want it. The 2 wheels at the front are equipped with a locking mechanism that you activate by either pressing down with your hand on the orange lever or while standing with your foot. We recommend that you lock the wheels once the oven is in your desired place in your bakery. Should you need to move your oven, should have cleaning, maybe under or behind it, you can easily unlock the wheels by pressing the orange lever up and above the wheels, and preferably with your foot while standing. The standard rack oven door is hinged on the right, and it's easily opened with a sturdy ergonomic handle which remains cool throughout the baking process. Simply pull the handle counterclockwise and up, and the door is opened. The door is just as easily closed and locked by pushing the handle down and clockwise. If you have chosen a door that hinged on the left, the process is simply mirrored. If we open the door, we can see that the oven is fitted with a rack inside of the oven chamber. Depending on the oven size and other options, the rack oven can accommodate a maximum of 4 to 10 baking trays. The oven has a rotating rack, and during baking, the rack alternates between rotating in both directions to ensure the best baking area and the best baking results. Our smallest model, the SR120, has oven racks that can accommodate a maximum from 4, 5, up to 6 baking trays. Our mid-range oven, the SR130, depending on the chosen options, has an oven racks for a maximum of 6, 8, or 10 baking trays. On both the SR120 and 130, the oven racks are designed for trays measuring 600 times 400 millimeters. Our largest rack oven, the SR240, includes an adjustable oven rack for a maximum of 6, 8 to 10 baking trays. You can also lift out the oven rack by moving it into its loading position, facing towards you. And this goes for all models. Just lift it from the bottom to release it, and then push it up and pull it towards you. You can remove the oven rack for cleaning or to switch it out for another oven rack for a different number of baking trays. You can put the rack back in its place in the oven by attaching it to the hook and place the pin on the placeholder, and you're ready to go. Remove the SR240 oven rack to adjust the size to fit trays up to 457 times 660 millimeters, or a maximum diagonal of 806 millimeters. When the rack is out, loosen the screws here, here, and here, to adjust the size. The oven chamber is equipped with an effective halogen lighting, which can be found on the side on the oven chamber, so that all the baking trays are lit throughout your baking process. If any of these light sources fail, you can easily replace them by using a screwdriver, but be careful so you do not damage the glass or yourself, and just unplug the light bulb and replace it with a new one. And please do this with the electric source off. Information about appropriate lamps can be found in the spare part manual that came with your oven. The door has a large double glazed window, making it easy to keep an eye on your baking. To clean between the panes, loosen and remove the two screws that can be found here and here. As you can see, the inner pane is hinged, making it easy to separate the two panes. And you can access the outer glass and inner glass. Once you're done cleaning, simply push the inner pane against the door and retighten the screws again. If your oven is fitted with an optional triple glazed window, the third pane is also hinged and can be opened and cleaned once the inner pane has been opened. Underneath the door, you can find a crumb tray that you can easily pull out so that you can empty your crumbs. And it's just as easily to be attached once again. The oven's command center can be found in its SD Touch 2 control panel. As the name suggests, this is the second generation panel and it's equipped with a touchscreen that sits flush with the panel, making it easy to wipe clean with a cloth. The control panel is used to adapt the oven to your needs and to set your preferred baking settings. If you have an oven combination that includes several oven chambers, each oven is equipped with a specific own SD Touch 2 panel. If the oven is powered but not turned on, the control panel enters sleep mode, simply displaying the date and the time. Activate the panel by touching anywhere on the screen with your fingers. The menu is activated and by default displays 4 menu options and 2 icons. An icon in the top left corner is to activate the lighting inside the oven chamber, and power button to start the oven's heating, and if it's a rack oven, the fan. The displays menu items are manual baking, recipe baking, weekly schedule, and settings. In addition, the current oven temperature is displayed here, which is measured by the oven's integrated temperature sensor that's located inside the oven chamber. If the oven is turned on but not used within a set time period, the panel switches the oven to energy saving mode and automatically activates energy saving functions, such as temperature reduction, and if the oven is equipped with a frequency converter, fan control, and also turns off the lighting and closes the damper. And here is to activate your weekly schedule. Press the schedule button. You just activate the days you want it to automatically start and stop. And set your temperature. You can also program it when to stop. Activate it. And press your stoppage time. The lighting is activated by pressing on, which also starts the oven's fans. Should you ever want to turn the lighting on inside the oven without turning the oven on itself, such as when cleaning the oven chamber, just select the light icon in the top left corner and the light will be turned on. The service menu is used to set your preferred oven settings. The service menu is located here and it's password protected so that only authorized personnel or qualified personnel to access these kind of settings. Selecting service and user opens the settings for country, time zone, time, menu language, and so on. These settings are easily adjusted by selecting the desired options with your fingers. Once you're happy with these settings, select the back arrow in the top left corner to return to the service menu. You can find more advanced settings, such as for activating energy saving modes, in the manual or in the Sveba Academy playlist on the Sveba Dahlen's YouTube channel. When you add a new recipe, you have the option of adding an image, clearly showing which product the recipe is for. Images can be imported via USB or a Sveba Dahlen's cloud service solution, Sveba Connect. If you want to import a recipe or image, just press Settings, Files, and you can import either recipes, icons, and even firmware updates. Press on the recipe and choose your desired recipe that you want to import and just press OK. If you want to import icons, press the icon button and you choose your desired images that you want to import. For example, that one and that one. And then press OK. And now you're done. And if you want to export images or recipes for backup purposes, enter a new USB flash drive, press Settings, Files, and Export. Choose if you want to export your recipe or your logs of your baking. And now, when the export is done, your recipes are now stored in the USB flash drive. And another neat trick for these ovens are that you can set your cost for 1000 kilowatts. Just press the service button, you go to cost for 1000 kilowatt hours, pressing, and you choose your own currency. So here we take 300 euros and press OK. Go back with the arrow key. You can use the energy chart and the cost chart that found under settings and energy to track your energy consumption. You can view your energy consumption per day, or week, or month. Here is how much kilowatts every bake has done for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. And here is how much it have cost you in euros or your own currency, such as dollars. Is your oven to be used in a store with many different users? Open Settings, press your PIN code, enter Service, and then you go to Shop Execution, log out, and then your display will just show recipes and settings. And the manual baking and schedule will be hidden. This way, you can be sure that the correct saved recipes will be used for whatever is baked every time. The baking screen that appears during the manual baking is the following. You have the current oven temperature, you have a visual overview of the baking process, you have the baking temperature, the baking time, you have steam time, you also have the closed or open damper. To adjust these settings, either use the minus or the plus icon on the right, or just tap the current oven temperature with your fingers and a number panel will be shown, and you can just, by pressing with your finger, enter a new oven temperature and then press OK. You can also choose your baking time or steam time. These two icons controls the oven damper. You can either open the damper to release moisture, steam, and odors, and you can close it again by pressing the right icon. Setting also includes buttons to rotate the oven rack into an open position. When baking, the rack rotates by itself. Hold one of the arrows depending on your preferred rotational direction. Set the oven rack into its starting position to remove your trays. And this function is only activated while the door is open. This oven is equipped with an optional rotation stop device, which ensures your rack to be in its correct position for unloading or loading your trays. Once the oven is hot enough, it emits an audio signal to indicate that the oven is ready to be used and loaded, and it sounds like this. Close the door, press start, and let the bake begin. Once the baking is complete, the oven will emit an audio signal to tell you that the baking is done. And it will also be shown a pop-up window notifying you that the baking time is done. It will also display the cost of the bake, as well as ask whether you want to finish baking or continue. If you're happy with the baking results and you want to save the sequence, select the plus icon on the top right corner. Press here to name your recipe. We can choose bake 1 and press OK. You can select even a picture if you want. And press save. Now your recipe will be stored in the recipe bank. You can press here to load your recipe and just start baking it again and again. If you want to edit your recipe that you just stored, press on the baking and press here on the pen. You can add temperature, you can add steam time, a fan delay. You can either choose where the damper is to be opened or closed. Now it's time to create a new recipe. Enter recipe mode, press the plus icon, press here to name it, and I will choose bake 2. Shows a picture of your product. Enter temperature, 100 degrees centigrade, and time for 5 minutes. You can also choose the steam time, fan delay, and damper. You can choose each of these options up to 8 times. The fan delay option is only available if you have a frequency converter for fans in your oven. Now press save. And if you want to make your new recipe a favorite recipe, press the star here. To access it very easily, just press your favorite recipes, press load, and it's ready to go. To enable smart functions such as cookie mode for baking sensitive products, half rack mode, and energy saving functions, open the settings, press your pin code, you enter the service menu, and under bake you have use half tray. Please refer to the manual for your exact settings. If your S-Series oven is equipped with a deck oven, then it looks like this. The deck oven has a maximum baking temperature of 280 degrees Celsius, and it's equipped with a stone sole and a steam generator as standard, and has the same as the Touch 2 panel as the rack oven. Each oven module has its individual panel for individual control, even if you have an SR120DS, a double rack oven. The deck oven is equipped with direct acting heating elements rather than fans that are found in the rack oven. The deck oven is also equipped with dual temperature sensors, which can be found one here and one under the stone sole for an accurate temperature reading in the oven chamber. When starting the oven, you may choose the type of oven heating display that you prefer: single heating display or a dual heating display. With a single heating display, you see the top heat value and is able to adjust the offset temperature here. So you can easily change it to the offset heat down to 40 degrees Celsius below your top heat. As you adjust the heating, these values are altered accordingly. With dual heating displays, the exact values of top and bottom heating are displayed. And you're able to set both precisely and independently. The control panel enables you to set the heating for all the 3 heating zones individually: bottom heating, top heating, and front heating, so that you get the exact results that you want when baking. As standard, we recommend a full power for all heating sections. Control panel settings works in a similar manner to those of the rack oven, with weekly schedule, recipe management, and energy saving mode, except for all the fan settings. The deck oven also comes with a hearth grid, which is used when you're baking on trays. In this case, the hearth grid is placed directly on the stone sole, like this. The oven holds baking trays measuring 600 millimeters times 450 millimeters. The oven door is open inward and upwards. By pressing down on the lever on this side of the oven, the door stays in place until you pull the handle back up. To clean the glass, you hinge it down like this. We recommend that you brush the stone sole off on a daily basis. The crumb tray is located in the front of the oven chamber, here, and it's easy removed and emptied. The deck oven is equipped with 2 lamps that effectively illuminate the oven chamber. The deck oven has an electronic circuit breaker at the back, which means that if a breaker is tripped, you can turn it back on by yourself by pressing it upwards like this. The S-series prover is always found at the bottom. Either it's below a deck oven or a rack oven. And it comes in 2 different sizes, and it's depending on the oven model. For the SR120 and 130 rack ovens, the SP1 prover comes with 1 door, and for the larger version, the SR240 rack oven, the prover is equipped with 2 doors. Each door is opened by grabbing the handle and pull it straight out. On the single door prover, the hinge are on the right side, and on the double door prover, it's equipped on both the right side and the left side. And the handles are centered on the model, and the open procedure remains the same by pulling it out and towards you. The SP1 prover has room for 10 baking trays with the measurements of 600 times 400 millimeters. The maximum tray size are 600 times 800 millimeters with a room of 5 such trays. The larger SP2 prover has room for up to 10 baking trays measuring up to 700 times 470 millimeters. So now let's look at the interior. As you can see, the design is simple and it's very easy to clean. It also has a drainage pipe that runs through to the floor, allowing both condensation and cleaning water to flow out through at the bottom. If there is a nearby floor drain to which a drainage pipe can be routed, the best option is a 32 mm drainage hose from the drainage pipe under the prover to the drain. The provers have tray racks that are easily fitted and removed. Simply lift the tray rack into the prover and then push them onto the placeholders mounted on the inside walls. Align the tray rack and push it down. To remove the tray rack, simply reverse the procedure. Pull upward and then toward the center of the prover. When cleaning the inside of the prover, we recommend that you remove the tray racks so that you can more easily access all surfaces. The control panel is comprised with an on-off button, a start and stop button, a temperature, time, and steam button. The prover is also fitted with an hygrometer. You can use the plus or the minus to increase or decrease your set values for both time, temperature, or steam. And here you will be shown the current value. And if you press the plus, you will have the desired value. And it goes for both steam and temperature. For the oven to work faultlessly and deliver the best baking results, it needs to be cleaned at regular intervals. For hygiene reasons, we recommend that you clean your oven chamber after each shift. Remove any dough, food residue, and other dirt with a wet sponge or cloth. Clean and wipe down all surfaces of the oven, both outside and inside. Dirt that has been dried can be carefully scraped off using a plastic scraper or a plastic brush. When cleaning the oven chamber, be particularly careful that no detergent residue are left when you're done. Do not use any alkaline or abrasive cleaning agents for the oven. The oven exterior, which is made from stainless steel, is easily cleaned with a cloth. If cleaning with a damp cloth is not enough for the stainless steel exterior surfaces, Sveba Dahlen offers an excellent cleaning agent called Steel Care. This can be used on stainless steel trays with a black surface. The manual for each oven sections includes detailed instructions on how to best clean and maintain it. Every new oven needs to be burned in before use so that any protective grease and excess oils will be burned out and does not affect your baking. Initially, the oven will smoke when doing this, so ensure that you have good ventilation before you start this process. If you have a rack oven, set the thermostat to 250 degrees Celsius or 480 degrees Fahrenheit and leave the oven on for a couple of hours. In case that you have an oven combination with both rack and deck ovens, you can burn in all ovens at the same time. A deck oven requires additional steps when burning in, so please refer to the manual for a comprehensive instruction. When burning in an oven, you may need to temporarily disable the fire alarm and smoke detectors. When contacting our support team or your dealer, you must have your machine plate number. This can be found on the oven. On these S-series models, it will be found on the side of the oven, right here. So this is the serial plate number for the rack oven and deck oven. And down here, you have for the prover. We recommend regular service. In Sweden, Sveba Dahlen offers maintenance contracts to ensure a reliable operation of your oven. Regardless of which country in which you bought your oven, our distributors offer service for our machines. Contact your dealer or distributor and they will help you with your service needs. Now I think you have all the tools you need for baking in your new S-series. All that is left for me to say is a thank you and wish you the best of luck and an enjoyable baking in your new Sveba Dahlen oven.